Hey ladies, I'm glad you guys are tuning in today. So today I'm going to talk about breastfeeding if you had a history of trauma. Now this is a very difficult topic to talk about, because a lot of women have been either, like sexually abused or raped. And of course, one day we do want to have kids. And one day we do want to give the best for our children. Such as myself. I'll talk about myself because I don't mind talking about myself and letting people know what has happened in my life. But I did come through. So yes, I have been raped before. It was in college, 2010. That happened, which was the worst. I thought everything I did was wrong. There was a lot going on in my mind. I didn't know what was going on, And I did go to counseling. It's best to always go to counseling. You should always go to counseling. It doesn't even matter. Even if it's for goals, you should always go to counseling just to know that you are where you want to be in life. But yes, I did get raped. And from there, I had a hard time with my body parts, of course, I didn't like people touching me and things of that nature. And then I had my daughter in 2013, February. And of course, first, when it comes to breastfeeding in general, this is something new to my family as well. So it was just really difficult to breastfeed and then didn't really have too much of a support system at that time. So I did breastfeed my daughter. I remember the first time I latched her on, I felt uneasy, a little disgusted as well. And it was mainly because of the trauma that I experienced back in 2010. But I knew that I wanted to breastfeed my daughter. And, I would always think, can I push through? Can I get through this? So obviously counseling, I still needed to go to counseling, of course, So I continued to go to counseling. I did breastfeed, and I had to really get myself together and realize that I'm free now. And I want you ladies to know that you're free. Even after any type of sexual trauma or anything when you was a child, I want you to know that you are free. You are free to use your body for what God has actually given it for, to breastfeed your baby. And I want you to, sometimes a lot of women, I have a lot of clients as well who have gone through traumas, and I express my gratitude. I let them know what I've gone through as well. And that helps them a lot because now they know they're not the only one. So I want you ladies to know that you're not the only one here who has gone through things, and it will be difficult. This is an added stress on you, but I know that you can do it because I did, and I've done it, and I'm still doing it with my son who's turning 3. So I want you ladies to know that you can breastfeed after traumatic experiences. It does take time. You have to really believe in yourself and make sure that you know that your mom, you are doing something amazing for your child. Don't ever let that get to you too much. I know it's easier said than done, but definitely realize that you can make it through. Okay. And then I also want to talk about the breastfeeding trauma pretty much in general in the Black community. There's a lot of mothers who don't want to breastfeed in general. Why? Because they came out fine, and that's fine. That's great. Your grandmothers, maybe they didn't breastfeed, or maybe they did, and they did back in the day, during slavery time. It hasn't been that many years. Let's be honest. It hasn't been that many years since slavery. So I want you ladies to understand, when your grandparents or great-grandparents, they're saying, that's nasty, you shouldn't do that. And there's reasons behind that. Of course, because, back then there was slavery. And we, as Black women, what did we do? We had to feed those white babies. We did have to feed the babies. And guess what? Our children were malnourished because we were giving them concoctions with all type of random things, seriously. So this is definitely how we had a lot of babies dying back in the day, because we gave all our nutrition to someone else. And so now you're becoming a mother, your grandparents, they still hold that in, even though maybe you guys don't even talk about it. Have you ever talked about the trauma that they went through being a wet nurse for another child, a white child's baby? You know, so I want you to realize that it's a lot that we are all going through in our lives, but we can make it through. I want you to know that you can definitely make it through. What else? I want you to really start talking to your families, your grandparents, even your friends. Talk to them about breastfeeding. Let them know, or, you know, find out their thoughts on it. Because a lot of people think, oh, it's nasty. Really. When you're drinking cow's milk, but it's nasty. And you know, a lot of great-grandparents, they want to disassociate themselves from the past. Who wouldn't, you know? Who wouldn't want to disassociate? That's a natural thing to do, to not remember anything. Let's try to wipe it out. It doesn't work like that, because now you're starting to breastfeed and you don't feel comfortable in your auntie's house because she don't want you breastfeeding. Why are you doing that in here? Why can't you go in a room? And it's time that we start letting the world know that it's okay to breastfeed. It is. Okay, we did get the breastfeeding in all 50 states in public. Whoop-de-doo. But now we're still struggling in our own households, even in our family households, on breastfeeding in front of our parents. There's a lot of women in different Facebook groups, and they're struggling. I do see that you're feeling uncomfortable with breastfeeding in certain places, and maybe I should just give them formula instead because I feel uncomfortable in my aunt's house, you know, little things like that. And it's sad that we have to even come to that. It's time that we should start giving the information to everyone. Besides mothers, we need support, all the support system. This is why we have that men's group as well, for the dads to get their evidence-based information. So you ladies need to understand that sometimes a lot of back in the day things, they do affect us still. They're still going to affect us because we haven't healed from that. And I want you ladies to know that you can heal from your past traumatic experiences, and you will learn to love your body again. Don't be afraid. And if you are afraid, make sure you're talking to somebody, definitely. I don't want you to break down by yourself. You can always talk to me, of course, you know. I'm down for talks. I've literally gone through every statistic in the world for a black mother, probably. Okay? Sexual assaults, C-section rate, not having the support for breastfeeding, all of it. I've literally gone through it all. So I want to know how many women in your family have breastfed. You let me know. You know, let me know below how many of your family members has breastfed, and we'll understand why. You'll understand more as to why they are not wanting you or not supporting you. And we need to start changing that. We need to start having our children to breastfeed their babies. Let's make it a normal thing, because this is normal. Let's see. I know sometimes you'll feel overwhelmed, especially if you've been sexually assaulted and stuff. Overwhelmed, you'll have anxiety. I still have anxiety sometimes, but then I have to realize that this is my baby. This is my baby. I'm doing this for my baby. And that really helps me a lot to get through my breastfeeding journey, even after being sexually assaulted, okay? So I don't want you to view mothers. Sometimes on some of the pages, I see people saying, oh, other mothers are lazy. That might not be the case. That might not actually be the case. The case may be that they have been sexually abused and they don't know how to get through that. So I don't want you to think like that. And I have clients who have literally cried in front of me about breastfeeding They're trying to make a decision, even though they know that breastfeeding is the right decision. Can they handle it? And guess what? We're so caught up in breastfeeding, you can still pump, ladies. You don't even have to have your baby attached to you. So I always suggest that, to pump your milk. Literally, just pump your milk. Maybe that has helped. Let me know if that helps you. If you have been sexually assaulted, just make sure, if you really want your child to have the best milk in the world, we can't lie about that, go ahead and pump. We would rather you pump than give them anything else, okay? So I want to thank you, ladies, for tuning in and just letting me talk about my experiences, because I'm sure my experiences can definitely help someone else in the world. I want to thank you, ladies, for tuning in. And remember, you are the bomb, and you deserve the world.